in this video, I'm reflecting on success and failure. They don't exist. They are just concepts in our minds that we create. Humans, we create this concept and we use this as something objective and real. No, they are relative. It's relative to compare to what? We always have an expectation that if I achieve this one, that I am successful, but if I don't achieve this one, that I am a failure. So it's a relative definition. And a lot of times when we focus too narrow in time and scope, we talk about that, oh, he got the job in the first job interview. He succeeded. Yes, maybe you succeeded, but maybe you will hate the job. And in this case, is it a success that you... So when we reflect back to time, then we realize that yes, in one sense I succeeded, but actually it was a failure. Or let's say in a business situation, you run a business, you earn a lot of money, very successful, great reputation, but it ruins your health. And because you don't pay attention on the health, maybe it ruins your private relationships. And then can we talk about this, that you succeeded? Yes. So when we focus very narrowly in time and in scope of life, and we have a very clear definition that if you reach this amount of money, if you get that partner as a lover, or if you succeed in the job interview, or you get a promotion, then you are successful. But if you open up, then you will realize that it doesn't matter because, yeah, okay, relatively you succeeded in this one, but because of this success, you gave up a lot of things in other part of your life. Okay, you can also look at this topic, success, failure, that is a step by step. So a lot of times we think that we failed, but actually that was a good learning step, a stage towards success. So you failed on 10 job interviews, but you learned a lot of things, how to do it better, you improve yourself, and that made you get the job after the 10th time. Or you lost a lot of money in your business, and that was the learning price for the business number 6 that you tried, and finally all the necessary skills and connections and capabilities come together, and then you succeeded relative to the other businesses. But be careful, because then even you think that you succeeded in the business, maybe you lost your health. And in the success world and in the literature and the media, they overemphasize that you should take risk. So people who take risk, they usually become successful, because the media like to talk about that, oh, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, they quit their studies, they didn't finish this, they put their money into the business and they succeeded, and this is the business model of success. But this is very misleading, because they never talk about the people who failed. Napoleon Hill in the 1920s, 30s wrote a book. He interviewed 500 successful business people in the US, and he concluded that there are 13 to 17 factors that we can find in all of this. And for example, one of them is that you create a burning desire to be successful and you take risk. But he didn't study the people who failed, because risk-taking means that in some cases you succeed and in other cases you fail, and usually the media and books and the self-help literature don't talk about failure. And so taking risk in the media is very biased, that is necessary to become successful. And let's say it's true, let's assume that people who take, if you look at the successful people, they took risk. But the failures also took risk, and we never talk about those. And it's more about the speed, because maybe you don't take too much risk, but you take longer time to be sure, to be safe, and then you can also be very, very successful. So be aware that success doesn't exist, and when you learn about success, usually people biased in one way, for example the risk, or biased about measuring success, for example by money or reputation or fame, or how many people follow you, and didn't see the large picture, how it affects your health and relationship with people. Are you happy actually, or you are miserable with a lot of money, or you are very famous but you don't really have any time, because maybe you become a politician but you don't have privacy, because every moment media is following you. So in this case, yes, you are successful because you get a high position and you are famous, but you don't have privacy, and maybe that is also very important for you. So don't stuck too much on the definition, especially other people's definition about your success. So try to define and have a much better balance in a long-term perspective, and then just improve yourself. Be careful about taking risks, because risk doesn't necessarily mean that you will be successful.